happy birthday to Tune of the Month. It was June, I think it was 2014 that I first had this crazy idea to play some tunes on the internet and see if anybody notices. And not only have you guys noticed, you've been like finding me out in the real world and telling me you're learning the tunes. We've been jamming them together, and like, what a cool thing for me to have this, find out that it's working out in the real world, and everybody's playing more tunes that they feel are cool. So thank you guys for making that happen and making my crazy idea look slightly less crazy, or at least crazy for the right reasons. This month I thought I'd play for you one of my very favorite, like, old-time Downeast jigs. It's called the Late White Swan, and that name has been a real pain in the backside for every announcer I've ever decided to play this. The late great white swan. Say it 10 times fast and see if you find it's easy. The Late White Swan. If you're just listening, thanks as always for tuning in. I'll see you next month or somewhere else sooner than that. And if you're ready to learn it, dive right in. Okay, so maybe you already heard this thing is in the key of B flat major. And if you're busy freaking out, clearly you didn't hang out with us a couple months ago when we did a whole tune, The Mouth of the Toe Beak, whereby I was trying to show you guys how the key of B flat is actually really easy to play. So if you're new to B flat, go check out Mouth of the Toe Beak first and then come back to this guy. And basically all you really need to know to play B flat major, what makes it easy is playing not in first position, right, a whole step from the nut, but backing up into half position. So my finger is right above the nut, and I'm going to make this finger pattern: whole step, half step, whole, half. And that will make my B flat major scale. Now the trick is I have to use my fourth finger, right? Shouldn't be that big a deal. It's right there together with your third, so it has lots of support. Use no open strings on the top octave, and you're good to go. When we get lower down, you may use open strings for A and D because those aren't flatted, but we'll get to that as we get to it. All right, so I'll slow this A section down. 2, 3, Part 1. Part 2. Back to part 1. Ending. So you can hear there are lots of arpeggios through there, right? And if I'm keeping my B flat major finger pattern, and back in half position, everything ends up right where it needs to be under my fingers without me doing a whole lot of stuff. All right, so let's break this down. Part 1, I'll use one pickup for right now. That's part 1. Try it again. I'm slurring into the root, that B flat, right? Now I'm going to hop down to the 5th. Here comes the bride. And that's just down the scale. Hop down, down the scale. part. This is the across the string. That's really cool arpeggio, right? All it is my third finger on my G string, my second on my D, and my first on my A. Look, I glue it right across all three fingers. And I call it the 3-2-1. 3, 2, 1, and then up the scale, and we'll land. That's all there is to part one. Let's try it again. Pick up into B flat, hop down to the scale. 3, 2, 1. Now up the scale. Not too bad, is it? Now when you do the 3, 2, 1, you need to make sure you get all three fingers are down on the string before you play that whole group. So just your bow crosses. We've done a lot of this gluing technique in past Tune of the Month and most recently in the Clog and C back a couple months ago. Really important. If I'm doing this one finger at a time, it's going to be very difficult to play smoothly and without having to scramble for the next note. Try it one more time, part one. Do you have your whole half? Are you back at the nut in half position? Hop it down. 3, 2, 1. Up the scale. Pretty good. All right. If you need a couple more repetitions, just go ahead and rewind the video. That's the beauty of the internet, isn't it? Rewind as many times as you need to practice that part. I'm going to go on to part two. I've just landed on my third finger here, and these are a couple of I'm connecting it to the next group because it's actually easier. Okay, so this is a couple of teams. If you've hung out with me in past Tunes of the Month, you know I love to think about my hand in teams. I have my odds team, which are my first and third fingers, and my evens team, which are my second and fourth. For our purposes, fiddling 0 open string also plays with the evens team. I know 0 is not an even number, but it plays with the team. So it starts with an odds team. And the reason this is useful is because if you're just playing odd numbered fingers, even if you play the wrong note, it will still just make a harmony with what you already want to play. It will still be the right chord, right? You'll just create a little variation by accident. So start odds team. And now evens team. Now that one is with your low fourth finger, but if you plop down whole half, hey, it tells your fourth finger exactly where to go. Right? So let's do that. Odds team, evens team. There's your odds, now evens. Now just go down the scale and back up. Now that's a little built-in rhythmic ornament, right? So notice I'm slurring it up, slur, and then I lift up and I land. And that's all there is to it, part two. Let's do it. Odds team is first. Evens team. Down the scale and slur up the scale. Lift and land. That's it, part two. Let's do it again. Odds team. Evens team. Down the scale. Up the scale. One more time for good measure. Odds team. Down the scale. And we're back to part one. Hop down for the scale. 3, 2, 1. Here we are at the ending. Starts with an odds team. Now evens team goes all the way up. And finish. Yeah, so it starts just like part two, that ending does, right? With the odds team. Now this time your evens team goes all the way up that E flat arpeggio to your high fourth finger and then come back down to finish. Those little approach tones, right? Do the ending one more time. Odds team. Evens team. All the way up. Ending on the root. Of course it is. That's the whole A section, guys. Let's put it together. Part one. B flat. Hop down the scale. 3, 2, 1. Up the scale. Here's part two. Odds team. Evens team. Down the scale. 3, 2, 1. Ready, ending. Odds team, evens all the way up. Finish en route. And that's the whole section. It flows together rather easily if you're keeping your hand in this whole half shape and back in half position. If you're sliding up into first position, maybe you're used to playing keys like G and D and A, you might be sliding up, and you just have to get used to that feeling of being back a little further, closer to the nut to play all the flat keys, not just B flat, but E flat and F. All those good guys are back there. A flat, great sound. Great place to be. Half position is your friend. All right, let's do the B section. I'm gonna slow it down. Part 1. Part 2. Back to part 1 with a little variation. Ending. Surprised myself there at the ending. All right. So you get the idea. This is, again, part 1, part 2, part 1, ending. And if it sounds like kind of noodly, sing-songy to you, yeah, a little bit. But don't worry, when we break it down, it becomes much easier. All right, so I have 1 pickup, which is off my low 4th finger. So make sure you have whole half. Back at the nut half position. Yes, I keep saying it because it keeps being true. So here it is, part 1. Yeah, so it starts with down the scale, down the scale. Now hop across with your odd team and play an arpeggio. That's B major, right? And down the scale, B major B flat. Now start on your 4th finger again and go up and down the scale. Up the scale, down. It skips down, right? Let's put the whole thing together. Start with your pickup, down the scale, B flat major arpeggio. Scale, odd team arp. Start your 4th finger, up the scale, odds team, and land. Good, do it one more time, part 1. And down the scale, odds team. 4th finger up the scale, odds team down, and land. Nice. Where you've just landed is the start of part 2. It goes like this. That's maybe my favorite part, right? Same idea, up the scale and down that same odd team arpeggio, B flat major. Now here's the awesome part. Those are a couple of glue across arpeggios because they're in inversion, right? That's an E flat major arpeggio. And because it's an inversion, I have mixed teams. I start with my odds and land even. Next is the F major arpeggio. Start even and land on your odds. Right? Try that again. E flat major, F major, and you land on B flat major. Right? Put that whole part 2 together. It starts with up the scale. Odds team arp down. Here it comes. E flat major, F major, and land it. Nice. Do it again. Part 2. E flat major, F major, and land. Yes. And we've just landed here ready for part 1. Now this is a part 1 prime, which means it's a little different. Starts the same. Now you're going to take your 4th finger and hop across. Yeah. Right? So it starts with down the scale and the arpeggio as before. Now when you put your 4th finger down, instead of going up the scale like we do in regular part 1, just hop straight across the string with your 4th finger. And then that same odds team, right? Do it again. Down the scale arpeggio, hop across. There you go, and the very ending. Now I love this ending because it sounds the most complicated, but it's actually the most easy. Starting on your 3rd finger, give me an odds team. Now to your 4th finger, give me an evens team. And finish on the root, just like the A section. Oh, it's so easy. All right, try it again, odds team. Keep going up, evens team. Ending on root. Try it again, odds team. Evens team. Ending on the root. And that's the whole B section. Let's put it all together. Ready? Part 1 starts with the pickup on your 4th finger. We're going down the scale. Odds team arp. 4th finger up at the scale and back down the arpeggio. Part 2. Down the arpeggio. Here it comes. F flat. F. Back to part 1. Here's the variation. 4th finger hop across. Here's the ending. Odds. Evens. Ending on root. Good job. Let's repeat. Down the scale arpeggio. 4th finger up the scale and back down the same arp. Here it comes. E flat major, F major. Back to part 1. Ready? Hop across. Ending odds, evens. And that's the whole B section. All right, you got the whole tune. Rewind, do these parts over and over, get real comfy with it. You'll notice if you go back and watch my performance at the beginning of this video that I play this tune 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 A's. This is one of those tunes that ends on an A section. And you can probably hear why that makes sense because the B section is fundamentally a little, floatier. It doesn't have that same like ta-da ending that the A section does. So we'll use that ta-da of the A to end it. A, B, A. Yeah, that's the whole tune. I hope you like it. I love this tune. I played this all while I was growing up. It was one of my signature jigs I love to play all the time. And yeah, as long as you can say the title, you're good to go. The Late White Swan. As always, if you would like to see sheet music for this and any future tunes of the month, you can go to my website, www.mariblack.com. Sign up for my email newsletter. It's a special bonus I give for anybody who's on my email newsletter. I'll email out the sheet music for that tune of the month along with the rest of the monthly news. So if you're already a member, you already have the Late White Swan sitting in your inbox. And if you are signing up sometime in the future, hello future, you will get all future tunes of the month coming to you for your reading enjoyment. Although it's probably more enjoyable to play tunes in E flat just by ear. When you see the flats, everybody freaks out. That's silly, but learn it by ear. All right, guys, hope this is fun. I'll see you next month here, if not somewhere out there sooner. Have a great one.